1, 2, 3 says it's live. So, okay. This is me recording myself doing a long-running or long-term code kata, building a Uber-like app using F# Xamarin.Forms, domain-driven design concepts, type-driven development, test-driven development, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm launching this application. I so far have implemented adding bank cards, viewing bank cards, removing bank cards, and I added requesting a price, requesting a ride from that price, and I've been working on the last couple of videos awaiting a ride after requesting it. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing, and this is just me sharpening the saw, building up muscle memory, set up pickup destination. Destination, I'm going to say East 99th, St. Clair. And so I set up the pickup, the destination. I click the price button, and it says 21 Jump Street to East 99th, St. Clair, $5. Pay with. This pay with is also kind of serving subliminally as a confirmation. Click request ride, and then what happens is you have this John Roach as a driver, this license plate of a Lamborghini. You have a map in here. Then you have this estimated time of arrival, 8 minutes, and then you can call or message. So the last session, I added like these call buttons, this call and message. After the video, I had added this label of estimated time of arrival. What I need to do is I need to make it such that these controls are only visible when we have discovered a driver, meaning that when we're awaiting a driver, these controls are hidden. Once we receive a driver, these controls are visible. So that's something that I need to implement. If I go to ride.ui and then I think it's await ride XAML here. The driver found message to bool converter is probably what I want to use for visibility. So specifically, this down here, all within the grid, should take care of what I need. So I'll have a is visible on this grid, and then I'll say that this is going to be the binding is going to be to our status property, which is in our view model over here. So we'll see a come here. Go back. We'll see over here. There's a status view model, and so our is visible is bound to that, and then we'll have this converter assigned to a static resource of our instance driver found message to bool converter. Our driver found message to bool converter is essentially this over here, where we basically return true if the message that we have is not equal to locating drivers. All right. So that should be the quick fix for what I need for, again, this call button, message button, and these labels, estimated time of arrival, 8 minutes. All that is hosted in this grid right here. So now if I relaunch this application, I should, when requesting a ride, the bottom part doesn't exist whatsoever. And actually, now that I think about it, there's some other things I probably need to add as well. Let me see. Let me see. The emulator is, status is right here. Let me see. This, that's fine. Honestly though, all this should be in this. No, that's okay. There's some things I want to do. So this grid over here, this grid over here is, I should set the is visible there as well. So let me see. This this over here is the vehicle label. So that label is fine, but everything else needs to, yeah. So over here, I'll just have is visible for that stack layout that harbors this image down here. And then there's another stack layout that's a sibling. And I want to do the same thing over here, which means I could get rid of this over here. Okay, and then there is this grid over here that I want to handle. And so I'll go ahead and put that right there. Okay. So now when I go over here and relaunch my application, I should see that when I'm awaiting a ride and the driver is found, I should see on the bottom half of the page that there's no remnants of controls that are associated to a found driver, meaning there shouldn't be a estimated time of arrival label. That should be hidden. There shouldn't be a Lamborghini or a profile. None of that should exist until the driver is actually found. So if I go to 21 Jump Street, and then I'll do East 99th in St. Clair. Okay, and then I'll hit price. And then 21 Jump Street to East 99th St. Clair is $5. I use a MasterCard with X for whatever number, last 4 digits. Then that is the desired effect that I want. That's what I want. Okay, so now what? Well, there's some other things that I need to do. Specifically, I need to data bind the values of these labels. So this blue 2019 Lambo Aventador estimated well, the value of 8 minutes, all this stuff is hard coded. And so I need to change that. Like this is hard coded right here, 8 minutes. This is hard coded. Where am I at? This is hard coded right here. Blue 2019 Lambo Aventador. Like all this stuff needs to be data bound to my view model. So that's what I need to handle. Okay. So in order for me to handle that within my view model, this is the await ride view model. Within my view model, this driver probably should have a vehicle associated to it, and it does. I probably need to add a vehicle property to here. So I'll do a, down here, I'll do a copy paste inheritance, and I'll say this is going to be vehicle. And this vehicle will have over here within low caps vehicle. And this will be x dot vehicle. Okay. And vehicle is not defined yet. At least the member property is not defined yet. So down here, I'll say let mutable vehicle equal, and should just be able to say null right here. I mean, that shouldn't be a huge issue. So this is saying that, oh yeah, it's a space issue. And here's the thing. I'm kind of on the ropes because the purest form would be that I have no vehicle. Like there's no such thing as null. And when the driver is found, then I have some vehicle. But a view model is kind of a gray line, it's a gray shade. It's kind of blurred. It's not a purely functional module. It's object oriented, right? And so the purest part of me wants me to say none. This vehicle will only exist when a driver exists and the driver set to none. But I just feel like that's kind of unnecessary. Okay, let's go with none. And I just have to unfortunately add another converter, but it's nice to practice. So this vehicle will be a vehicle type option, meaning it's some or none. Okay. And so when we do get a driver for this on driver found, then we can say that our x dot vehicle will be assigned our sum, and then you could say driver dot vehicle like that. That's one way of doing it. Or in our XAML, we can say driver dot vehicle and just be done with it within our data binding. But then you have to say driver dot vehicle dot model, driver dot vehicle dot year, driver dot vehicle, whatever. Okay, so now what? Well, now that I have that in here, then one could surmise that this right here would be, for specifically the color, would now be bound to a, actually this whole thing is, I wonder if I can assign the data context of the grid to vehicle. Something like, nah, I'm not going to trip right now. All right, so let's just change the color over here to binding. Come back. Binding. I'll say vehicle. And actually, yeah, I think I do want to do this. I think I want to do something like this data grid. I want this to be, I want the binding context to be vehicle. I have to say source. It's been a while. Binding context. I'll say binding and then say vehicle, something like that. And that doesn't feel right to me. I'm gonna get rid of that idea. And down here, I'm just gonna say that this will be a binding to vehicle dot, and then I think on vehicles, if I go here, the color is a literal color. So that's gonna require a value converter, but I could say color right here and then say converter equals, and then say static resource color to text converter, something like that, which isn't defined yet. I have to define that. And so then over here, the year would be binding to a vehicle dot, and do I call this year? Yeah, 2-digit year, vehicle dot year. Okay. And then the converter will be a static resource, and that will be a year to text converter. Okay. And this is the make and model. Okay. So this will be binding, and then I'll say vehicle dot make and model. I did that wrong. It'll just be bound to vehicle. And then I'll extract the make and model into a string. So I could say converter equals, and then say static resource. And then I can say make and model converter. Something like that. Okay. So now what? Well, my OCD tells me that I need to have the stuff formatted. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Now what? Well, this color to text converter, I probably should start adding these converters in here. So I'll do Control Shift A, and then class, we'll call it color to text converter. I make this class public. Okay, and then I'll just say over here that this is going to be a IValue converter, like that. Come here, implement that. I said no, Willis. I said implement that. Okay, so now what? Get rid of the noise. All right, And so over here, we're going to need a var color equals, and it's going to be value as color. Now that color is going to come from Xamarin.Forms, which is a struct. So I think I can cast it like this over here. Okay. And so then, kind of like spaces. So then over here, I can say, how's this work? I should just be able to say, you would think that I could just say toString, but I'm not sure. So var text equals color dot toString, and if it's a part of the Crayola 64 or 128 type of naming conventions, then it should just return the actual name of the color. Else, if it's an RGB or a hex value, then it should return the numbers or the hex value. That's my thought process. I didn't really. I guess I'll find out, right? So then I could just say return text like this over here, and I'll guess I'll find out how well that works. Okay. So now what? Well, that was a color to text converter. There's also a year to text converter over here. And so I'll go in my converters folder and Control Shift A, and then over here I'll say that this is going to be my, oh, what just happened? Year to text converter over here. And so I can go ahead and make that public. I think it'll still work if it's internal. This implements an IValue converter, something like that. Okay. And so now what, Willis? Well, okay. So in this case, this is supposed to be like the 2-digit year. So we need to import using ride dot specification dot I don't know if the 2-digit year is in core library or the ride dot specification library. 2-digit year, that's not what I want. 2-digit year is in core. It's in the core library. So it should be like get ride dot core. No. Where's core at? That's not what I want. Where's core? Or do I have to say common is the name of the file? This is get ride dot core. Okay, so get ride dot. Do I not have? I have to have a reference to core. Core is being referenced. I'm not sure why. Using static get ride and core is a module, so now it should show up in here. Okay, there we go. All right, now what? All right, so this value over here is going to be a 2-digit year. So var year equals, you could say value as, and then you could say 2-digit year like that. Okay. So what does that really mean? Well, this 2-digit year, that's actual. If I go over here to the oh shoot. If I go to the, go back, delete that, go back. If I go to this 2-digit, yo, you're not working with me. If I go to the definition of this 2-digit year, then it's a wrapper of a string over a string. So to accommodate that, it should be like year dot item, I think. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And that's what we would return, something like that over here. Yeah. And so item is a string. Cool. So that was if I go back to my XAML, that was the year to text converter, Okay. And then make a model converter. Well, that's going to be a little bit special. So go over here and I can do what? Well, if you notice, the default, let me close out of here. The default strategy that I used was choosing converters. And just having or choosing value converters that my XAML would rely on for rendering data. An alternative would just be to, within my view model, have a property, not necessarily vehicle, but vehicle color, vehicle year, vehicle make and model. That will be an alternative. And that probably would have been better, but I'm already halfway done. So, all right. So this make a model converter is over here. So I'll go up here and then I'll just go make a model converter. Yeah, I think the alternative is a better design because then I don't have to do all these converters. And it's pretty straightforward. Whatever. All right. So say public, and then over here I could say IValue Converter. And do that and do that. Okay. And get rid of this noise. Come here, Willis. Oh, yeah. Okay. And so now what, Willis? Well, you could say var what? Well, this is supposed to be make a model, right? So you could just say, I'll just say, yeah, ubiquitous language. Make and model, fine, equals value as, come here, converter, something like that. Yeah. Oh, no. As value. What is this? As a vehicle. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay. Now what? Well, from there, this is vehicle. And then down here, we can say var make a model equals, and then you can say vehicle. Right now, we'll just say make, and we'll say vehicle dot make. Okay. And then we can say var model equals, and then say vehicle dot model. Okay. Now what? Well, then you can say something like return, and then you can. Oh no, hold up. This is, yeah. These should just be strings, right? So it should be like item here and item here. So then you should be able to say return, and then maybe $ string interpolation. Uh, uh, and then we can say that this is going to be make, and then we can say over here that this is going to be model, something like that, at the semicolon to appease C# programming language. Okay. Now what? Well, I think it looks good on paper. Did I get rid of everything I need? Yeah. All right. So we can put a breakpoint there, and then we could put a breakpoint here, and we can there's a breakpoint there. All right. So now what, Willis? Let me go to my view model over here. And for the onDriver found, I want to make sure that I have this breakpoint set right here. And so Control-Shift-B, and let me see. And I would argue that I no longer need this annotation here. Okay. And so this is still building. So then if I attempt to run this application, I am attempting to run the app. So it should be deploying the bits to the application on the emulator. Bootstrapping the application. Sooner or later, it should be rendering the application on the emulator. All right, so here, set to pick up 21 Jump Street. Destination is East 99th, St. Clair. Okay. And then I price that. And then 21 Jump Street to East 99th, St. Clair. Say pay with, and I'll say maybe Visa. And so then from there, now that I'm looking at this, I'm curious if I should include a map in here. Like put the map in between the $5 and the Visa. I think I'll do that later. Yeah. Request ride. And oh yeah, it says static resource not found for color to text converter. All right, so up here, I need to add my converters. Specifically, I need to do converter, converter, and say this is color to text converter. And say Xamarin key equals color to text converter, something like that. What else? There was a year to text converter and make and model converter. So I could then say, let's copy that, paste, paste. Put that there, put that there, put that here, put that here. Okay. And over here, I now have all my converters registered. So if I attempt to run this again, and in hindsight, I think this was probably a good idea for me to use value converters instead of adding these properties, because then I would still have to convert those new properties of a vehicle on the view model, I will still have to do that instead of just relying on getters and setters. So I think that I was going to have to add value converters regardless of if I add individual properties for make, model, and year. So pick up, say 21 Jump Street. Destination is what? East 99th, St. Clair. Okay, and so hit price. Later on, I'll embed a map in here to show the route between the 2 points, 21 Jump Street, East 99th, and St. Clair. Say pay with MasterCard, request a ride. And now our make and model converter is being hit. And right now it's there's nothing here. So that will be an exception. Value is null right now. So I should probably add this to everything. Say if value equal null, then just return what? Return null. Okay. And what else? Over here is the same thing, but it's not going to be null. Your value. I'm not sure about that. Year to text, same thing over here. Okay. So then run this application again. Okay. So the application is bootstrapping, preparing to get rendered. And set pickup, say East 99th, St. Clair. Destination 21 Jump Street. This is reverse order than what I had originally. Price, say $5. To do is embed a map in there between $5 and the actual pay with request ride. So now our value should still be null initially. And then we now have some vehicle, right? And so then our make and model is no longer null. We have a value as vehicle is what we should have. Say make is that, So make equals vehicle, which is not it. So now what? What is this value? This value should have been vehicle, but it's not. It is vehicle. This is a vehicle. The value is a getride.core.vehicle, but it's not. It's showing up as null. I'm not sure why. color, make, model, plate number. All this is vehicle. And when I attempt to cast it as a vehicle, it doesn't know what I'm talking about. An alternative is, unless vehicle is a struct, I could try to do that. See if that works. Run it again. Vehicle is a record. I don't know when interrupting between or from F# to C# if a record is converted to a struct. I guess this could answer my question if it does, and that'll be something that I learned. So let's do this one more time. That's a lie. I'm probably gonna do it several times. Pick up 21 Jump Street. Destination East 99, St. Clair. Price. Pay with. That right there. Request ride. Okay. We know we have a vehicle. Now what? Let's see if we can cast it this way. If we can, it says invalid cast exception. Okay. Let's relook at my XAML. This is supposed to be the make a model converter. Make a model converter is right here. Oh, I think I know why. That vehicle that I have is an option type. So what I meant to do is it's a F#. Why is this so hard for me to do? F#. Should be like a core, and then it should be a option, F# option that will wrap around vehicle. And so then we can say that vehicle dot value dot make, and then, or we can just say var I'll leave it like that. Vehicle dot value dot model dot item, like that. That should be it. Year converter. Now, that raises a question of this right here. Probably should be vehicle dot value. I wonder if I could get away with that. All right, so let's change all this. So because this vehicle is an option type, then the I think I should just do this right here. Color year. Just leave all this like that. So then I can do something like this where I could do that. And then I could say that this is going to be a vehicle dot value dot year dot item. Something like that. Now, what is this complaining about? Cannot convert type string to via reference conversion. Okay, so that's a string. I have to do that. Hold up. Okay. And so that was year. This is color over here. So this would be a take the vehicle over here. And we'll say that this is going to be a vehicle dot color. Vehicle dot value dot color dot really dot color. Okay. So now put a breakpoint right there. I think I got everything covered. So that right there. That right there. All right, so let's run this yet again. Now, so pick up 21 Jump Street. So East 99th, St. Clair. Price it. Pay with. Request ride. And let's try this again. First time, everything's going to be null. Now we have a vehicle in here. We have a color. If I say to string, is it going to be smart enough to tell me red? It is. Okay. What else? So now I could get rid of that breakpoint over here. All right. So now we're at the same thing over here. And this will be, that's fine. So we can get rid of that. And then over here, the make, the model, and then we do that. So all this stuff appears to be checking out. Okay. And that's That's what I want. Okay. No, I understand that the red 99 Honda Accord does not match the image, but that doesn't matter right now. What also needs to be done is this cancel button needs to have a command attached to it, which I'll probably do in a separate video. But like these buttons right here, call, message, these need to have commands on them, as well as there's a cancel link, should I say, which is right here. So that would have a label dot gesture recognizers, and then you could say that this would be a, I don't know if it's called a tap gesture recognizer, and then you would have a, I don't know, in here you have a command equal to binding, and then you have cancel, something like that. So on the await ride, we have to add a cancel command in here. Remember, how do I want to do this? I'll say let cancel equals, and that will be, how does this work? A delegate command, which I thought you would have like a, I know for a fact it's going to end in a I command like that, but I thought you'd do something like fun and then something like that over here. And then this one right here, I don't know if you just say something like, how does this work? Say true like that. And you have to say fun. Side command is the system.windows.input. Okay. And so this is a to do, right? So I think you do like something like to do. Okay. And then you would expose that as a property. So you would have something like member, how does this work? You say member x dot cancel with get, and then you would have this equal cancel. I think something like that. And I don't think I do a set on here, or maybe I do. I can't remember. Let me see how I did this. So for a request price, I just have it right here. Okay. Yeah, so I don't even have a memory variable. I just say cancel, and that's just a, I just do this right here. All right. And I don't even have get. I just have member cancel like that. Okay. And then you have, as I said earlier, some properties for call and message. And so I also need to set some styles in the SAML. So here I would have a command equals and then say binding, and then this would be call. And then the other one I would have a down here command, and this would be message. Something like that. Which means that I would have something like this over here where I would have a call, and then over here I would have a message, something like that. Okay. And then, yeah, I have something like that exposed. What else, Willis? Well, I guess while I'm still at it, my mind's preparing to tap out, but I think I'll introduce some styles in here. So I could say style. Where we at? We could say style, and then this would be a XAML key equals, and then you say communication style, and the target type would be button. And then you can say that the setter on here for the property would be a margin, and then the value would be 5. That's what we had in here. Okay. Which means that down here for our button, we can have our style equal to our static resource, and say communication style like that. Okay. Oh, go back. Here, Willis. And do that right here, which means that we no longer have a need for this margin down here. And that doesn't really save anything, but we could, as if and when we decide to further style the call and message buttons on this page. Something else over here, there should be a property called estimated time of arrival. So over here we'll say binding, and then ETA. Okay. And so in my view model, I can have so I don't have to do that. Over here, I can have I don't even think I'm referencing quote. ETA. Here, that would be ETA. ETA. So then over here, you could say let mutable, and then you could say ETA equals, and then you could just do that right there. Okay. So, which means that when a driver is found, then we could have a x dot ETA. And then you could say that that is going to be assigned 8 minutes. Okay. Control Shift B is to build. Oh yeah, I was adding styles, right? And so there's a ETA label style that I want to add. So over here, I can say this style, come here, and then style what? And I can say XAML key is ETA label style. Let's say ETA style. The target type. It's going to be a label. So then over here, I could say setter or how does this work? I thought I could say setter. Okay. And for that, the property is going to be a text color. What's happened? And the value is going to be orange, right? I think that's what I had. This is where's my, this is it right here. Okay, so say style is static resource of ETA style. Okay. And down here, you can say style, come here, style, static resource. Oh, God damn it, Willis. Say over here, ETA style, okay. And so we already set the text color to orange, but there's some other things that we want to do. Font attributes is supposed to be bold. Horizontal option is supposed to be center. Text or the font size is supposed to be medium. So these are the attributes that we want to uplift or lift up into our style. So we add 3 more setters, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll say font attributes. That's supposed to be bold. And then we say horizontal options. That's supposed to be center. And then we say that the font size is supposed to be medium. Okay. Now what, Willis? I think that's pretty good progress for right now. There's a lot of mess over here. I could probably handle that offline. This cancel over here. Yeah. This stuff looks pretty clean. It's up here that gets kind of messy that I need to fix up. So I think I'm going to stop right here. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop right here. And so, yeah, that's it. Let me run my test, make sure I didn't break anything, which I don't think I broke anything. So the tests are test let me start over. The test execution requires the solution to build first. Once it starts building, then the test will be discovered and then execute. Okay. That should happen any second now. The build succeeded. Tests are being discovered. Discovery is completed. Tests are now executing. All my tests pass. Now I could commit my updates and say added value converters and styles related to await ride. UX. Commit all and push. And I'll satisfy my quota today of 1 hour towards my hobby project / code kata. So I'm done. Peace, adios. I'm out. I'm Scott Nimrod. I'm available for hire. And yeah, peace.